This is Gray Man Media content.
And take. In 1932 memoir, The Fun of It, Amelia Earhart made a declaration that would come to seem, in hindsight, somewhat dubious. Flying might not be all plain sailing, but the fun of it is worth the price. Boy, was she right, and let me get into it today on Wolf Takes a Bite.
I climbed into the hills.
I'm romantic. I would like Bigfoot to exist.
One type is about 3 feet tall, very dark, not humanoid at all. The lizard-looking.
The creatures that I've seen mostly have been the greys.
To the search for truth, little grey men from outer space who actually abduct humans.
Welcome back to another episode of Wolf Takes a Bite! Welcome back to another episode of Wolf Takes a Bite. I am your host, John the Lord Wolf, with my co-host, Devin the Lord Gray. Lordships of Lords, Lordly.
Thank you. Hold your applause.
Today we're talking about one of the most infamous flyers of all time, and I'm not talking about these amazing butterflies in the sky. Something. Reading Rainbow.
Oh, I thought you were going to go Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds.
No. It's butterflies in the sky. Something can't deny.
I don't remember that show.
Oh,
I saw it,
insert that here.
Is that the one? The
Reading
more
Rainbow.
You know?
No, Reading Rainbow.
I thought it was
with LeVar Burton.
Reading Rainbow. I thought that was it.
Rainbow. Yeah, LeVar Burton from Star Trek.
He was in Star Trek.
He was.
I've never seen Star Trek a day in my life.
He's the only man I know in this entire world who could ever pull off that full-on laser X-Men looking fucking glasses thing, man.
Yeah, he can do that one, and then Kanye West can do the shutters.
The shutters. Have you seen those big retarded glasses?
Whoa.
I'm just saying, that shit's weird.
Like 60 seconds in. Whoa. It hit me hard.
All right, so yeah, we're talking about Amelia Earhart, which, funnily enough, is not her real name.
Whoa.
Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
What do you know about Amelia? Other than this on my daughter's name.
Built Amazon in 2004, Jeffrey Bezos. I don't remember how that song goes. Did you not see Inside by Bo Burnham?
Yes, I don't know music that good.
He's a comedian.
I don't know things that good.
I know Amelia Earhart was supposed to be the first woman to fly around the world, but she ended up crashing.
Yeah.
Pretty tragic.
Typical. Women can't drive.
Whoa. She was flying.
That's even worse.
Jesus Christ.
She had no road.
Oh, no.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.
No, she didn't. She did not.
That's a throwback since our last episode was time travel. Back to the Future.
Yeah.
Da.
Except for we're going back in time for this one.
No, but it's Back to the Future because that episode hasn't come out yet. Neither is this one.
Man, listen, when I try to think about our recording / editing / publishing schedule, my brain hurts.
We are masters of time. We're time lords.
What?
I'm just warming up.
All right.
Warming it up. Like a bun in the oven. Devin, I'm pregnant.
Uh-oh. I don't know how you did that.
Yeah, neither do I. It is 2022.
That doesn't mean you can genetically change who you are.
That's a topic for a different show.
It absolutely is.
All right, so no, Amelia Earhart. So like I said in the preview area, 1932, she had a memoir called The Fun of It. This woman was by far one of the most nuttiest females of the time. And being that fact, I'm saying in the case of, it wasn't very common to have a strong female role model in the 1930s, like at all.
Not one bit.
She was also the first female aviator to fly solo, non-stop across the Atlantic Ocean. She successfully did so, but at the price of her life.
It was the Atlantic. I thought it was around the world.
Well, she did the Atlantic. I just said the Atlantic.
Oh, she died when she tried to go around the world.
Right. She only crossed the
got it.
Atlantic. For sure, they know because of, I guess, radio tagging and whatever.
But that's not right, because, like, she didn't actually do it.
She flew the wrong way.
What?
She should have tried to go the other way.
Across the Pacific?
Yeah.
Okay, but you're saying that she was the first woman to successfully fly across the Atlantic by herself.
Yes, exactly what it says. Yes.
Okay, but that was during her attempt around the world.
Yes.
So she never landed. Well,
She landed.
so
Parts of her landed.
So she didn't actually successfully do that.
No, but she successfully flew. That doesn't mean you had to land.
I guess, yeah.
It's like shooting a cannonball over a hill. It successfully flew over that hill.
It just crashed and burned.
Exactly. Same thing. Yeah, exactly. So Saturday actually marks 80 years since the court order declared her legally dead on January 5th. In January 5th of 1939 marks 80 years of this year, though. So 80 years. The news only earned one brief line in the pages of the time. After all, by 18 months, having disappeared on July 2nd, 1937, during an attempt to circumnavigate the globe. The tragic end was the result of years-long path for Earhart, and all part of a story that would lead to decades of speculation about what actually happened to her. Now, there is so many freaking theories, Devin,
Oh, yeah.
and I can't wait to get into those.
Aliens.
That is one. The other one is giant crabs.
Hey, you lost me at giant crabs.
And then there's the crows. And then there's the other thing.
Now
There's so much.
Now I think you're making shit up.
The native, supposedly she's a native of landlocked Kansas, had gotten hooked on flying while attending an air show in the Toronto area, where she had moved to work as a nurse's aide during World War I. She also volunteered there during the 1918 flu pandemic, and she took flying lessons in California and set a woman's altitude record of 1,400 feet in 1922.
No woman's ever been higher.
I mean,
Since then.
since then.
Yeah. But to that point, no woman's ever been higher.
That's the Mile High Club.
Unless, well, that's something different.
1,400 feet? I think that's about a mile.
I don't
right?
think that's what that means.
Oh, okay.
You might need to brush up on that terminology. I think that means something different. I guess there might have been like some chick who took like a massive amount of LSD or something like that. Maybe got a little higher, but
70s were wild.
well, this happened in the 30s.
I know.
Oh,
So I'm sure people have been higher.
oh yeah.
Isn't there women in space like now? Like,
Oh yeah, there is.
shit's
There-
happened, bro.
There definitely
Like,
is.
We are back.
It's not space. It's low Earth orbit.
You're right, because space is a complete farce.
all right. Back to Amelia Earhart.
Elon's not going to Mars.
Elon's not going to Mars. Elon, we love you.
So, actually, yeah. So she committed it to a career as an aviatrix. She has classes on health and medicine at Columbia University, and were followed by a period of social worker work in Boston as well. She flew on her days off, becoming the only female member of a local pilots association, making headlines for doing a flying stunt to raise money for the settlement house where she worked, which is like a recovery house, whatever.
This is like this is a very talented, charitable, accomplished young lady.
Yes, and I'm gonna make all of you fall in love with her until I destroy your ideas.
I'm already in love with her.
Okay, wonderful.
She's so hot.
She actually was a very beautiful woman.
She's very gorgeous.
Anyway, so listen. So looking for a Lady Lindenberg to replicate the success of the first solo nonstop flight across the Atlantic Ocean. Time reported in 1928. Intrigued by Earhart and her physical resemblance to Lindenberg, he actually invited her to be a passenger on the transatlantic flight, In June of 1928, she became the first woman to fly across the Atlantic and then to fly back. The duration of her first flight, was 20 hours and 40 minutes.
It's a long time in an airplane.
That's a very fucking long time. I mean, that's non-stop sleep. They didn't have autopilot.
They had like single propeller engines and shit.
They were prop planes, yes, but to do a transatlantic flight, I'm sure she was doing a double engine, Big Bird, kind of deal.
Big Bird.
It was a gnat.
What are you talking about?
So anyway, the two, Lindenberg and Earhart herself, would end up marrying in February of 1931, and became her first publicist and the backer of her historic May 21st, 1932 flight. The trip that, for the 5th anniversary of Lindenberg's historic Paris journey, made her the first woman to pilot solo, non-stop across the Atlantic Ocean.
Are you doing a bit?
Kind of, not really. Her career took off. Wink.
Shut. Terrible. Terrible.
And she funded her flying as a writer and lecturer, and even designed her own women's clothing line.
What?
Yeah. This woman has done everything. Like, everything, dude.
Performed heart surgery while skydiving.
National hero. Yes. Which is funny you said heart surgery, because she was actually trying to become the world's first female flying doctor.
What does that fucking mean?
That means she was going to fly all the way across the world, anywhere in the world she was needed to heal the injured and sick. That was her dream.
Yeah, they didn't really have jet engines back then, so that would have been fucking hard.
She was trying to be the first Superwoman, really. I mean, that's what she was going for.
Yeah, when they were developing Superwoman for DC Comics, they were actually basing it off Amelia Earhart.
I fully believe that, as well as the fact, she was like, so she would fly up to you, and then she would be like, here, now you're healed. Also, I got this great outfit, honey. It's going to look fantastic on you.
And also, let me write a story about this, and also check out this housing project I worked on.
Mm-hmm. Also, have you heard about my friend Heinrich Himmler? We'll get to that.
God damn it. I knew it.
Zoom in on his face.
I knew it was coming. I didn't want to believe it.
No, I'm just kidding. In 1935, she got paid $10,000, approximately $185,000 today, to become the first person to fly from Hawaii to the mainland U.S.
Hot.
I would run across the fucking ocean for $185,000.
You would die.
I would try.
Your life is only worth 180 grand?
I mean, I would eventually get there. You could swim from Hawaii to the mainland.
Sir.
You could swim from Hawaii to the mainland. It's not that far.
Can I get on Safari with this thing?
Let me know when you do. They described her as easily the world's #1 airwoman.
You can't.
That's unfortunate for you.
There's no way.
Alexa, how far is Hawaii from the U.S. mainland?
South Island is 4,941 miles from Hawaii as the crow flies.
South Island.
I don't know. But
post. Do it in post.
There's no way you're swimming fucking 4,000 miles.
If I have a log, maybe.
If I have a log.
I mean, just think about Cuba to Florida.
That's closer.
Is it?
Yeah. Yes, definitely.
From California to Hawaii, it's like a 4-hour flight, maybe 3.
That's in today's...
It might even be 2-hour flight.
That's like on today's jets that are like stupid fast.
500 miles an hour.
Just at least 1,000 miles.
It would take me a week or two. I just got to map out the currents.
All I need...
tidal currents.
Yeah.
I am Moana!
I just need a log, a map of the currents, and 180 grand, and a dream.
I am John Wolfe. You will board my boat, and you will sail back with me to Hawaii. Like my shirt?
And they never saw him again.
Yep, pretty much. Like my shirt? Like my hat? We have a graphic designer who drew all this.
He's got new fit.
I'm fresh. It's hot under these
Did Jess do that?
Jess drew everything on this lat.
Let me look more.
Yeah.
Can I look?
Why don't you get a good shot of that? She drew everything on there.
This is fucking sick.
I know, right?
I love the pink too.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for more on that.
Yeah.
Possibly.
If you like this graphic art style,
Yeah.
we have possibly more things coming to you in this fashion.
Check the monthly update.
Check the monthly update. Now back to our regular scheduled programming. So, her earthbound opportunities were expanding. Purdue University recruited Miss Amelia Earhart to run a career center of sorts for women. Because, women didn't really have careers back then except for her, apparently.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
That's why it says of sorts. And she inspired many to switch from the home economics division, a.k.a. stay-at-home housewife, to engineering and other jobs in aviation industries. The school's president at the time was Edward C. Elliott, believed strongly in education for women as one way out of depression. He thinks education will just help women be less depressed.
Education can help a lot of people be less depressed.
That is fair. To me, it's depressing.
If you're one of those people who actually have like clinical depression, yeah, that's not going to really help.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
I'm not diagnosed. And that educated woman could add a great deal to our economy, potentially, says Susan Butler, author of East to the Dawn, The Life of Amelia Earhart. So at 39 years old, this when she was so young, 39 years old.
Incredibly accomplished for not even midlife.
I'm 31. I haven't done shit except for this show.
Holy fuck. You're a father?
Yeah.
You got a wife? You're a homeowner?
Yeah.
You should be proud of your accomplishments.
I just dream big.
As you should. All great people do.
So at 39, Earhart thought she had just one more ambitious flight in her before she was ready to spend the rest of her life on the ground.
Grounded.
Well, technically she got her wish.
Oh, man. We're going to be making those jokes a lot, huh?
She did spend the rest of her life on the ground.
In the ground.
The last 5 seconds. She was planning on hanging up her spurs, says Butler. She wasn't planning on doing any more record setting, which she was already very well accomplished in. For her last hurrah, she began by flying from Oakland, California to Miami, where she announced that for her last flight, she would fly around the world, and her goals were to establish the feasibility of circling the globe by commercial air travel and to determine just how human beings react under strain and fatigue. Time News reported, you can tell I got a lot of this from Time, right? Okay, heard. She took off June 1st, 1937, and throughout her journey, reported back to the U.S. media about what she saw along the way. But on July 2nd, 1937, before she reached her destination, Earhart and her navigator, Fred Nolan. Yeah, nobody talks about him.
Who?
Fred Nolan. Noonan. Yeah, I guess somebody who died with her.
Oh, so she wasn't on the flight alone?
She had a navigator, but she was flying.
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Most people don't.
Yeah, no one talks about him.
Nobody talks about him.
Because no one gives a fuck about men.
Exactly. Men's rights. Activism.
I'm just cueing it if you do it again.
God damn it.
Real quick, while we're already on a break, I just want to let you know my resting heart rate around 65.
What is it now then?
83.
I'm glad I do that for you. I'm giving you a workout by hanging out with me.
I don't know what that was about.
Oh, anyway, so knowing this guy, nobody.
No one.
So I'm not keeping anything. I got to cut some of this stuff, so I can't keep everything. But anyway, so Noah died with her. He was in the plane. Nobody gave a fuck. Noah.
Yeah,
no one cared.
Yeah.
They were thought to have disappeared in the Central Pacific Ocean on their way to Howland Island. I guess that's close to somewhere. After taking off, never heard of it. After taking off from the city of Lee in Papua New Guinea, Jerry Mock would achieve Earhart's goal of becoming the first woman to circumnavigate the globe as a solo pilot in 1964. So apparently this bitch, Jerry Mock, actually did it, and nobody gives a fuck.
He did it before her? Before her attempt? She did it before
first
her
female,
attempt?
After her attempt.
Oh, well, yeah, because she fucking died.
Yeah.
Amelia Earhart died, and so no one cared who did it.
Yeah. But she was still the first woman to do it.
What you got?
I don't know. It fucking 84 resting.
Is that your normal resting?
Probably.
Check it later when you're not recording. I'd be interested to
Or
find
drinking.
out. Yes, definitely when you're not drinking.
It's all the lights.
Tomorrow morning.
Okay.
When you first wake up. Tell me what it is. I'd be interested to find out.
So the chaotic search rescue mission began, 71. And the effort, when it was still ongoing, explaining some of the reasons why the circumstances led to a high level of mystery. So there are several facts. There's a... NANI?
Just put some subtitles and say literally anything. Say something really strange. The listeners are the audio only listeners are very confused.
Oh my god. There are several facts that made it clear that much more than simple bad luck was involved in her death. As I am currently sweating bullets. Before the hop-off, when capable, navigator no one gives a fuck, inspected what was supposed to be an ultra-modern flying laboratory, taking measurements and everything during their course. He was dismayed to discover that there was nothing with which to take celestial bearings except an ordinary ship sextant.
Which is like
if you're flying all day, all night, you need to navigate via the stars because back then they didn't have GPS.
Right.
But she used a ship sextant. You cannot accurately get a depiction using a sextant while flying at 200 miles an hour.
I'm
how
sure,
are you going to do that looking up? You only have a viewing window.
I'm sure that was one of many instruments she was probably using.
That was the only thing that she had, according to him.
The guy who died?
Yeah. They stopped and did check-ins all the time. They were radioing shit back and forth and did check-ins because they have to refuel because planes didn't have a fuel capacity.
Oh, fuck no.
So they had to do pop, 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 pop. But the point is that she flew to these different flights. So at their last stop, I guess, in Papua New Guinea, that's where he was like, oh, this bitch is just flying straight for no fucking reason. She ain't got no damn plan. He reminded that he remedied that by borrowing a modern bubble octant designed especially for an airplane navigation, very useful if you're in an airplane trying to fly across the globe.
Just a thought.
Just a thought. Designed especially for airplane navigation, for estimating wind drift over the sea, and obtained 24 aluminum powder bombs. For some reason, these bombs were left behind in a storehouse. She didn't think she needed them. The Coast Guard bombs. Sorry. Yes, the Coast Guard. The Coast Guard cutter Itaktea, whatever, Itakaska, which had been dispatched from San Diego to Howland Island solely. Apparently, everybody knows where this island but me. Solely as help to the flyers, would have been able to take directional bearings on Earhart's plane if the latter could have turned its signals to a 500 kilocycle frequency. So something about this and math and these other things is how they did it, I guess. I'm not an aviator. I've flown a plane like maybe 4 times.
That's way more than me, bro.
It wasn't that hard. The instruments told me what to do. Yeah, that's it. Now you go back because you want to go up, and then you go down. You get more momentum when you really, really crank it up, and then you could go straight down and get that 0G thing. That's great. It's a scientific method of pitch and effect.
Dive.
The
hurl rocket. That's what they call that.
I like that. I want to do that. We should go do that.
Fuck no.
Also, there's a place in Dubai we could go and do it's a diving thing. We got to get.
Oh yeah. Well, let me just.
I mean, the chance of death is only like 89%.
Yeah, Dubai next week.
Cool. So the plane's transmitter would have been able to send such signals if it had been trailing into an antenna, like it should have been. Miss Earhart considered all this too much bother, and no trailing antenna was taken along. Finally, the commander of this base would have had a better idea where to look if the plane had radioed its position at regular intervals, which she did not do. Bitch just was just avoiding everything. She just, I don't care.
Yeah, you know who I am.
I don't need no help. I have a clothing store. I can fly across the globe.
I don't need you to mansplain to me how to get across the Atlantic. All right.
Which nobody's ever done before.
I can do this.
Exactly.
Well, somebody's done it, right? It was just she was going to be the first woman.
Yeah. Answer here. Answer.
It was just a text that said answer. Yeah.
Fine. See, but not one position was reported or received for the plane after it left New Guinea. Poor guinea pigs. In fact, only 7 position reports were known to have been radioed by the flyers during this entire trip. When the word that Earhart's plane was lost reached the U.S., her husband Putnam wired an appeal for the Navy search to President Roosevelt. But even before the message reached Washington, Secretary of the U.S. Navy Swanson had ordered the Navy to start hunting. Interesting.
That's a weird way to say finding.
That's what it says. By the last week, the search was costing $250,000 a day in the efforts.
This has all of a sudden become very sketchy to me.
That's $1 million today.
She must have been very important to the government.
Apparently. The battleship Colorado drove to the off Phoenix Islands. Whatever. It went off to the Phoenix Islands and capsulated. I'm sorry. It catapulted 3 planes from its deck. It was an airship.
Sick.
Yeah. Catapulted 3 planes from its deck, and then the flyer skimmed over the Gardner and McKenna Islands and the reef of one of the nearby islands. They saw nothing but ruined guano works and the wreck of a tramp freighter. Tramp freighter.
Is that like a freighter from across the paths out of the tracks?
Yeah. Lady in the freighter.
It's no lady, yeah. I was going to say, it's no lady.
Yeah. So thousands of startled seabirds fluttered up, menacing the propellers and forcing the flyers to climb. Some days, equilateral squalls and vanishing visibility crippled the hunt. But on others, the weather was perfect and visibly unlimited. By the week's end, Colorado's planes had scanned more than 100,000 square miles of this area, in which they inaugurated the search the fuck? 100,000 square miles, which inaugurated the search last fortnight, continued its futile patrol until fuel ran short. The minesweeper Swan put ashore a searching party at Canton Island. where last month a party of scientists viewed the solar eclipse.
Well, you know they can't build. You know that, right? They took that out in the last update.
What?
They can't build.
Oh shit. I fucking hate you. I don't know why it took me so long to get that.
You can't build in Fortnite. They took that out.
I know. The last fortnight. Meanwhile, the aircraft carrier Lexington with 62 planes aboard. You thought about that for a minute.
I was trying to let you finish, but I was like, the further and further this gets away, the less this is going to
make sense. So instead of 72 as first announced, there was 62 planes aboard, which they said there were 72 when they first left port. So there's some differences here in their whole report system. Interesting, huh?
Counting's hard.
Yeah, no, counting airplanes is hard.
Counting multi-million-dollar, well, back then, whatever.
Well, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, we just lost a quarter, a fourth.
I'm sure the Pentagon's not going to mind.
Yeah, they just disappeared.
They've never lost money before.
Irony being we're searching for a lost plane, and we lost, like, 11 planes. Yeah, what he said. Anyway, so the destroyers four destroyers escorted out and sped out of San Diego and forced draft. They forced a draft for this search.
You're lying.
Nope.
What?
Nope. It says, again, and I'll repeat, news breaking story. An escort of 4 destroyers sped out of San Diego at forced draft, stopped in Hawaii to refuel, arrived in the search area early this week. If the Lexington's, which is the ship, Lexington's great fleet of airplanes could not find the lost flyers, Rear Admiral Orrin G. Murfin, coordinator of the search, planned to abandon it. Meanwhile, the chance of finding the flyers alive, according to consensus and searchers, was already down to 1 in 1 million. Interesting.
That's sketchy, man. There's some missing airplanes. The government spent $1 million. Apparently, there was a draft
for, I guess, of volunteers. Which, if you're in the military, you don't volunteer for shit. So here, let me go to because we're getting on time, and we got to get to the get to the good juicy shit.
Yeah.
All right. So let me leave you with a juicy tidbit of the juicy shit. These are some theories. She was either captured by the Japanese. She was actually Irene Bolam. Aliens.
Yes.
Lasers and zero evidence of aliens, but there's lasers.
That's
and then there's the Gardner Island hypothesis, and then also apparently she crash landed and tried to survive on an island, but giant crabs ate her alive. We'll get into all of that and more on the audio portion of this podcast. This has been Wolf Takes a Bite out of Amelia Earhart, the video portion only, and trust me, it's going to get saucy and spicy, and there is so much more. Please go and listen to us on all but my podcast platforms. Podcast platforms. Listen to us at all podcast platforms, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more. Google Podcasts and iTunes as well.
Yeah, like and subscribe so you don't miss next week's episode.
Do the buttons, do the things, yeah.
Drink your water.
God damn it, this is going to be a good one. Hey, it's John from Wolf Takes a Bite. Oh my God, what a crazy episode that was. But if you want to see more, you can check out on graymanmediaco.com for all the links, and you can listen to this podcast anywhere podcasts can be found. Wow!